What is up, everybody? How's everybody doing today, man? You already know how it go. It is your boy B back with another video. If you don't know who I am, my name is Brandon Jones and I specialize in helping you make an extra income. And today we're going to be talking about what's the difference between phone flipping and reselling and why you should be doing both. So number one, right, I am going to give you guys a little background on me. What did I start out with first? I started out first with phone flipping. If you don't know my story, I have a video on my channel about my whole story. I think I'm going to do another one just to refresh people on it. But I was not raised in Philadelphia. I was raised in New Jersey. When I was in high school, because I'm going to summarize this so I can make this fast as far as my recap. The high school, I got a job at Sam's Club before I was really allowed to work. And I ended up getting fired. This devastated me, made me feel less than what I was because I was in high school making bread. Now, I can't remember how much, but that little $15, I think, it went a long way, you know? I come from a household where my mom wasn't just giving me things, right? Like I didn't struggle. I'm not from the trenches. I've been in the trenches, you know what I mean? I have ties in the trenches, but I wasn't raised in the trenches. And my mom made sure that she moved me out of Philly to Jersey to have a good life. But she didn't give me crap, okay? I was wearing, coats and stuff from Burlington Coat Factory, Foreman Mills. Like, I'm sure we all were, right? But like when I got my job, I was able to actually buy what I wanted. And, I think that's where we all get stuck in our 9-to-5s is we become so invested with the fact that we used to, as children, not be able to afford a lot of the things we want. And then when you get your first job and you can afford things, you fall in love with not the things you can buy, but the job that actually helps you provide. Because you don't ever want to go back to that person or that child that couldn't get this or get that, right? So the job, me losing it, devastated me. I felt really, really horrible. And that's what helped me on my entrepreneur journey. But my mom wasn't really supportive. I ended up moving to my grandmother's and starting my entrepreneur journey. I ended up running across, I did Wake Up Now, which was an MLM, multi-level marketing company. And Wake Up Now was pretty good. I made a good amount of money signing people up, and you know the whole deal, signing people up and then they sign people up and you make money, you got teams. I was setting up meetings in my grandmom's living room and she didn't even know. I had strangers in the house and she never ever once complained and told me to kick them out. Like, I remember one time she was asleep, I was holding a meeting, she walked downstairs, she's like, "What the heck, Brandon? What are these people doing here?" I'm like, "Grandma, I'm hustling. I turned her whole living room into a conference room. And, I did all of that because I never wanted to go back to the feeling of not having a job. And a lot of us, right, like you watching right now, you may have a job and you may be comfortable at your job. You may like your job, right? But it's all good when you have it and everything is going great until you start to realize you're disposable. And I think that's what I had to learn is I was disposable. And that's when you start to actually wake up when that boss pisses you off or when they write you up or when they tell you got one more chance or they tell you not to come in today, right? Like, you don't get to control what I bring to the table when I put my work in. You don't get to control how I feed my family. Like, you don't get to play around with that. Let's say that. You don't get to play around with that. So I ended up running into, from Wake Up Now, a connection to a Sprint owner, a third-party Sprint owner. Sprint used to be a cell phone company, if you don't know. And they didn't want to hire me. I didn't want to take a job. So I said, I'll work with y'all under the table, but it don't take 8 hours for me to make $1,000. So it ain't no way you're going to tell me you pay me $15 an hour. It don't take an hour to make $15, right? So they did a deal where it was like, hey, we'll give you these phones. You got to come back with these phones every day, but you can go out there, sell these phones to businesses, hospitals, people, wherever, but make sure you sell it with the $55 unlimited talk, text, and data. And I did that. I went to transportation centers. I went to bus stops, schools, different events. I got kicked out by different places. I was in front of businesses. I used to get kicked out of everywhere. Cops called, tickets, everything. And one thing I will say is I made a good amount of money just selling these phones. Now, the phones didn't cost me anything, right? The thing is they were getting the first payment and all the payments moving forward from that phone bill. Plus, they were only giving me like 40% of the phone price that I sold. So I wasn't really making too much, but I was making something. And that was my first taste of selling phones. Then I started to say, you know what? I want to buy the phones off of you instead of just splitting or getting my percentage. They said, okay. So I ended up doing that. And when I did that, that's when I was flipping phones. And if you don't know what flipping phones is basically when you are getting or buying a device, a phone or a tablet, a smartwatch, a telephone, a wireless unit, and I don't know why I can't think of the name, but you're buying something that takes cellular data, and you are buying it lower than market value and selling it for higher, right? What is market value? Market value is going to be the universal price that a device is worth. So, prime example, I have the Phone Flippers by its price list, where we tell you the market value of every device out there, right? I just did a video on the iPhone 16. So phone flipping is good when it comes to you getting what you put in, but also more out. You put $200 in to buy an iPhone XR because you already know the market value is $250. You get that $200 back and you get that $50 profit. Now, how do you buy it? You buy that iPhone XR by saying, okay, I know that the market value is $250. Let me deduct whatever I want my profit to be. So in this example, $50. Let me deduct the $50. And now I know my ceiling offer to somebody that has that XR is going to be $200. Oh, I found an XR. Hey, how you doing? I'll buy that XR for $150. No, that's too low. Okay. Oh man, no, don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. All right, I'll go to $200. Okay. Got the sucker. Long story short, I'm still making bread. But yeah, so that's sort of kind of like a really, really fast summary of how you go about that type of transaction with a phone flipping, in the phone flipping category. Right now, I do have videos a lot on phone flipping, but phone flipping is really good when it comes to your return if you do it right, because you're already getting the money you invested plus more. The only negative is that you literally have to move, right? It's not something that I would recommend just doing in the house. You got a lot of fake phone flippers on YouTube that make it seem like they're doing it on Best Buy and they're doing it on eBay and all of these places, and they're really not. It's all lies. It's all, hey, I know this is a hot thing right now and people want to know how to do it. And, you know, I know how to thrift and I know what eBay is and I know what Best Buy is. So let me act like I have the knowledge to get this done when, in all retrospect, I don't, right? Because phone flipping, not only do you need to know market value, but you need to know where you're going to get the phones. So where do people list phones? OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace. You also need to know, all right, what is my universal profit margin? Like, how much do I want to make? You also need to know, How do I override objections when people tell me that they don't want to sell me the phone, or that the price that I'm giving them is too low? You have to know all of these things. And I teach you all of this stuff in my Reselling Academy, which is linked below too. But a lot of people buy into courses and digital products thinking that that's going to teach them. Right now, it'll give you a guide, but my Reselling Academy gives you a living, breathing community that teaches you for one monthly price. And in this video, if you're seeing this video and it's the same day, you'll be getting a discount. You can get into the Academy until 12 a.m. for $25 a month. Okay, it's going back up to $100 after 12 a.m. But it's really beneficial, but you do have to say, okay, with all those things I just told you need, I also need a car, maybe. Or maybe you have a shopping center near you where people could just meet you there. Cool. You still have to leave the house though. Still have to risk your life because there are crazy ass people out there. So phone flipping is more of a go out and get it hustle. Now, product reselling. I got into product reselling when I first opened my first store. I thought that I was just going to have a store that sells phones until I opened my store and nobody walked in. Nobody. Nobody was amazed by the iPhone 5Cs and the iPhone SE, the iPhone 6, 7, 8. Nobody was amazed by that. It was no traffic. Then I said, you know what? Let me actually go and study what that Sprint guy was doing and how he was getting cases and stuff. Because with third parties at that point in time, you didn't necessarily need to get the cases from that big wireless carrier. You can get your own and then upcharge, right? So they were getting like out of box cases for like 99 cents, selling them for 60. So I understood his model. I actually ended up connecting with his wholesaler and filled my store up with products. And that was my first real dose of product reselling, other than like eBay as a kid, you know, in high school. And also when I graduated, I did pay my rent on eBay, but that was with like little small products. But I started to learn that unlike phone flipping, product reselling became more of an asset game. Right? Like the first real money I was making flipping products was at flea markets. I used to every weekend send my employees to 2 different flea markets, and they would go and set up tables with all of the products that I brought, and it would make a good $940 to $1,000 and some change. And you know, it's interesting because I have, even right here, right below me, I have products that haven't sold, right? Like this right here, I have a bunch of these. These are like keychains. And at the time when I brought them, these keychains were supposed to be like really, really good and a trending item. But I didn't sell them. And, you know, I'll start off from the rip with, that's the negative of product reselling is you have to sell. And if you don't put this in front of the right customer, it won't sell. And it took me a while to realize, okay, flea markets, that's putting my products in front of people, and putting it in my store is great, but I need to actually market, do like little, what were they called back then? They weren't called reels, but do videos on YouTube and on Facebook and on Instagram. Fly drones with like different posters. Like we were grinding. I used to have my employees flying drones in traffic. It was really nice, like with flyers, and I painted the business yellow on a corner. It was a corner store, and I painted it yellow so everybody could see. I had a nice banner, but that's what brought the customers in. And the difference between phone flipping when it comes to risk-wise is that phone flipping, you're guaranteed once you have a device to make your money, your profit, but also to get your initial return back, right? And it takes at most a month. But With product reselling, if you don't do it correctly, you're just accumulating assets. And that's not bad either. Because if you were to ask me right now, would I rather have assets or would I rather have phones? I would tell you assets, because just like you may think this thing right here is worthless, right? I can go on YouTube right now. I say YouTube. I can go on eBay right now and sell this, right? But back in the day, I didn't know that. I can go on Mercari and sell this, and this probably cost me 99 cents. I probably could sell this for $5, even $4, and have them pay for shipping. So no matter what, when it comes to product reselling, the thing I like about it is that you're accumulating assets. You're turning your physical money into physical products that are worth more. So I turned 99 cents into something that is tangible, that somebody, some kid somewhere wants. I can go to my kid's school, or I can give these to my kids and tell them, hey, sell these. And they'll do it. And they'll come back with the money. Maybe not the first day or the second day, but eventually they'll come back with the money. So understanding that products are always going to sell, it just may take time, is why I fell in love with reselling. And I honestly, to be honest, right now, love reselling way more than I love phone flipping, because phone flipping is automated for me. Like, they come to my store, whether it's whether it's them or whether it's somebody that walks in that just wants to sell a phone that they don't use anymore. Hey, I have a price list. I got 50 buyers on that buyer's price list that I literally look at the price and I know, okay, this is the market value. I offer you $50 to $100 less. You take it or leave it. You take it, great. I make $100 to $50 on it, plus get my initial investment back. Great. Product reselling is more so like, wow, like I got 3 Mercaris, 3 eBays, and they're all making me 1,000 plus. Wow, I am literally in a position to where I don't have to work a job that I don't want. Or maybe I can start a store online with Shopify or Wix, or maybe I can go ahead and start making my own custom electronic. Like, it's so many different elements to it, right? And that's why it's important that we manage our income streams, right? So why should you do both? You should do both because they both consist of the same exact thing, and that is money management and asset control. Prime example, if I go ahead and put $500 into a device, that device is now an asset to me. The difference is that that device is going to be sold to a wholesale buyer who automatically will buy it. Like, I already have a consumer for that. And then I have, let me go to wesply.com and let me go and buy 50 MagSafe chargers. And now that I have those, I can list 20 of them on each of my platforms. And maybe they will sell slower than the phone, of course. But that's a residual 500 I'm getting every week from products that only cost me $8. So it's like understanding how to put your money to work for you in different ways. And we show you that at the Resellers Academy. It's linked below. $25 today. I just put that sell up. I cannot keep it there because it's going to cost me money. Because with this academy, you're getting free products. I'm giving you a product box every month for you to get assets every month to sell. So you mean to tell me somebody giving you assets, literally the money you give to the community every month, is going towards products, assets. You're turning your $25 into physical products. So now what do you do if you're a phone flipper? That's the beautiful thing too. In the academy, I have a buyer's price list there for you. I have phone flipping courses for you that update daily. For phone flippers and resellers, we meet 2 times a week. Wednesday, we have our Q&A. Sunday, we have our plan of attack where we plan our weeks. All the entrepreneurs plan their weeks together. Challenge each other, grow together. You know, both of these income streams changed my life and people around me, right? But one thing I learned about them is that instant gratification did not exist with either platform, either income stream. eBay, Mercari, OfferUp, no instant gratification. But the more I worked at it and attempted to perfect it, the more I started to see growth within myself first and then my profit second. And like now, I get a lot of compliments from a lot of people that say, hey, this is exactly what I was needing, and this is like hitting the hammer on the nail. This is what I was looking for. And the only reason why a lot of my products do that, like, hey, join the academy, but don't just join the academy and get a course one time and me ask you to pay $197. No, instead, join the academy and get physical products that you can sell on any platform. Because I remember when I didn't have products to sell. I remember when I was having trouble finding products to sell. Or, oh, join the academy so that you can actually have somebody that phone flips for a living that actually does this to show you the technique every single week, but also somebody you can always ask questions to every single week, 100% access to. Because I remember how it felt for me sitting at those bus stops with a white table, praying to God I don't get robbed, trying to make rent. I remember that. So I wanted to bring this comparison in this video to you guys because I think a lot of us, we don't quite understand the difference between the phone flipping and the reselling because there's no difference. They're both hustles and they both get you assets. And us, the hustler community, all you guys subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I'm on the road to 1K. We all have that hustle inside of us. All of us. We just got to put it to work. You guys got this. I love you guys like a fat kid love cake. And I cannot wait to see you guys in the academy and in the next video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and of course, subscribe. Let me know right now. Comment below what income stream you're doing right now. When you join the academy for that 25, once you get in there, I want you to say, what's up, B? I want you to do that. What's up, Brandon? I took the offer. Let's get work. I want to see you excited. Let's get it. All right, guys. I love you, and I'll see you guys at the top because it's too crowded at the bottom. Peace.